Hello, City Life Gardening. In today's video, I mostly want to apologize for the low volume in yesterday's video. I don't know what exactly happened there. I think it was a combination of being off the cuff and just low volume myself and not noticing, and also holding the phone right at the microphone, because that's just the way habitually landscape mode I hold a phone on either end of it. But I really got to stop trying to do that if I'm going to use this phone without the tripod anymore before I bust out the tripod and the camera, or the tripod and the attachment for phones and stuff. But I was just out here watering the garden. I decided to do the watering off camera, but you can definitely tell where I did. Definitely needed it. It has been pretty dry for a couple days. And I was just kind of out here looking. I don't know how well it's going to show up in the video. I might want to zoom a little more. And yeah, now I think you can see it. I'm not exactly sure if I just spread more of the seed when we tilled, or there was a way more radish growing just as tall as this further out, but I just decided it's so tight, just leave a little row right here and it'll be fine. I'm not sure if we maybe just moved the roots around and a bunch of them lived. I'm thinking more likely just move some seed around that didn't sprout yet, that was just kind of laying on top. But I will take it. It's stuff growing in the garden. I'm definitely planning on planting out further out, more rows and just different stuff. And it'll eventually have its space claimed by something else. But for now, I'll take it. I'm not upset about it. I'm happy. Even if we don't get a radish out of it, maybe I'll just come collect a bunch of greens when they get a little bigger, not much bigger, and toss it in a salad, because they're pretty good when they're little. They get more peppery as they get older, especially. I'm pretty sure most, if not all of these, are black Spanish radish. I did plant some cherry bell radish seed in with it, but that was a lot older seed, and I'm not sure if any of those sprouted. None of the ones that I pulled were anything but black, so I'm not sure if I got any cherry bell going in any of these, or cherry bells, or if it's just all black Spanish radish, which is a rather peppery variety. But like I said, I did want to apologize for low volume, so I'm going to try to work on that in this one. And I guess the rest of today's topics are going to just be not anything too super informative, I don't suppose, just showing off. We have definitely a lot more obvious bean sprouts in the garden today, and I'm zoomed in a lot. There we go. And there's another one, and it's just I don't think that many haven't sprouted. And like, if I back up, I missed this one just because it's halfway through the process. I love finding them like that when they're still buried in the soil and just still popping out. It's just so cool. And this is more what they look like right after they have finally got their heads out of the soil, but they're still not open yet. They're just kind of slumped over, still waking up. And I'm pretty sure that's what all these brassica looking things are sprouting, is more of that radish. Yeah, we've got quite a bit of beans sprouting, and I feel like anywhere there's any big gaps, I've got those smaller pots over in the seed starting batches of stuff that I started early, and there's like one or two in each of those. I can maybe even separate them out, fill in individually, just pull the roots apart and transplant them one by one, even though they're two to a pot, pretty much in every pot. And so if we got a couple bare spots where the cows tromp through here after they broke through the fence. Not our cows. It's fun every year. 20 years now. Anyway, I've said that before on videos. I'll quit harping on that. But anyway, there are spots over here in the rows where definitely there's hoof prints and stuff where they've stomped right in the row, and so we might have some bare spots to fill in. But over here, it's a lot smaller and it's bright out. I don't think I have my brightness turned up on my screen enough to really help me out, but there are definitely a ton of these red cabbages sprouting, but I can already see that there's a ton of, I think there's radish all the way over here too, but yeah, radish all the way over here in the mix, red cabbage, and a ton of little weeds. That this tiny red cabbage is gonna be fun. Like within a week, if we get some rain, it's gonna look like grass in this garden instead of brown, and it'll be fun to fight these weeds. But yeah, yesterday I had some volume issues over here when I was trying to talk about this squirrel defense that I had put around my yellow wonder strawberries. And excuse the mess, I realized I left all this stuff in the wheelbarrow and it got rained on. Oops, that's why you put up your tools. And this is already looking dry again. I guess I didn't do that good a job of watering this little lettuce patch. I need to come back through with at least 1 or 2 more watering cans just to give it a good watering. I've been letting it be too dry. I'll honestly be surprised if I luck out and do get some sprouts. I'll probably have to resow some other type of lettuce or something over here. Maybe even if in another week I don't see any sprouts, bring over the red strawberries I have and plant them here. And I definitely have plenty of that. I call it hardware cloth. It's basically woven wire. Anyway, I have tons of that left over. I can build a defense cage for it over here. I might do a better job on the second one. But yeah, let's go show you what we did here. It was definitely a 2-man job. Seed table looking nice. Got some basil. I did find some dark opal basil did sprout. Not a lot of it, but I have 2 more fresh seed packets on the way, and I think we'll be better off whenever they show up. It'll definitely be warm to stay warm, and it'll be cool at night still for a good little while, but not cold. So they'll have a better shot at starting. But let's get over here and show you this cage. And I know you're gonna say that's not even at all, but so far it seems to work. But the cows ate them up, and the squirrels were definitely eating the berries before they were ready. Pretend like the screen's not even there if I put it right up on it. But yeah, these strawberries are doing pretty good, considering they were like 80% eaten by cows not long ago, and being messed with by squirrels the whole time. And wire snipped out little holes for the lid, pushed it down, and every so often I came back through with the wire that was around the bundle and kind of secured it up with the wire just so they wouldn't try to fight it and get in there. And every so often I have come through and put these little stakes. So that's basically the setup, and I'm hoping it works. I'm hoping it's not too much of a pain whenever I'm like, oh hey, there's strawberries and they're already yellow and they're bigger than I've ever seen them. Let's try and eat one, to get in there and then put it back. That's gonna be fun, and we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. But this is, I think, the most ideal thing I could have done for the money, honestly. It even leaves a little spot here with not a lot going on. Maybe I'll put something here, maybe even transplant this viola here. I don't think that's too big a pot. I could probably take a hole decent enough size to squeeze it in there. Might want to doing something different with a smaller root ball. Maybe even go ahead and, I think I want to give 3 sage plants more room than 1 square foot, but I'll have to look into that. Maybe at least put one of them there in that corner, because they should overwinter if I get them in the ground. But anyway, happy gardening. Hope the audio was more clear on this one. Apologize for yesterday's. Let me know what you guys are growing. Happy gardening.